You awaken in Razor Hill, Part 4. Cast the beast within. Run in circles, firing blindly into the dark. Scream and kill 'em all. Loktar Ogar, motherfuckers, you roar, activating Rapid Shot, Blood Fury, the beast within, everything you've got, every single cooldown at your disposal, all at once. Screaming death and hell, you strafe the darkness, laying down a withering wall of serenite that Arthas himself would quail from. You carpet bomb the whole valley with volley. Scream something about freedom and throw aim shot and steady shot after multi-shot after arcane shot after every single kind of sting you can think of directly into the abyssal darkness. Scratch Fever lets out a roar worthy of the MGM lion. He's not attacking anything, but he's real excited about all the shooting and doesn't want to be left out. The blips on the radar have formed a sort of ring around you. They don't appear to be moving at the moment, but it doesn't seem like you hit anything. You now have 225 Serenite bullets. Your mana pool is now at 15%. Shift uncomfortably. Put Scratch Fever on follow. Cast Deflection and run screaming back towards Razor Hill. Seeing as how Plan A, fire wildly at nothing, appears to have failed miserably, you swiftly concoct Plan B. Oh Jesus, oh Jesus, oh Jesus, run, run, run. Aspect of the pack-up, deflection, running, disengage, and feign death. Ready, run, 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 oh God, run. You hurry yourself back towards the junction, Scratch Fever in hot pursuit, and leave skid marks in your wake that may or may not be the result of terror-loosened bowels. You reach the junction quickly and dash southwards towards Razor Hill. The metal scraping sound is very loud now, and appears to be coming from behind you, up northwards on the trail leading to the abyss. Those blimps are still moving. They appear to be drifted in your direction. Scratch Fever is very excited at all this running. He does so love to stretch his legs every so often. Getting despawned whenever you mount has been robbing him of a lot of much-needed exercise. Scratch Fever has gained some happiness. Scratch Fever happiness is now at 75%. Drop Frost Trap. Cast Misdirection on Scratch Fever. Blindly fire into the darkness to the rear. Stop for a moment to catch breath and consider options. Lay Frost Trap. The one with the big frosty whore all over the place, not just a single person trap. Get ready to run like hell again after seeing what it is. You screech to a halt about halfway between the junction and Razor Hill. Spin and drop a frost trap about 20 yards back up the trail. You tell Scratch Fever that you're only casting MD on him for his own protection, and that there is absolutely nothing to worry about. Luckily, Scratch Fever isn't especially bright, and buys the story wholesale, sitting proudly next to you with his chest puffed out, pleased that he is finally being useful to you without serving as your mount. Scratch Fever has gained 1 level of loyalty. Scratch Fever is now your unwitting pasty. You prepare yourself to fire completely wild into the darkness, but there's something behind you. You can see it almost clearly, about 100 yards up the winding trail, moving slowly across the deserted hard track. It's shuffling, moving laboriously, as though crushed under some impossible heavy weight. A hunched-over form, shifting in and out of the abyssal darkness. You squint your keen eyes to get a better look. It's some kind of gnoll. Some kind of enormous hunchback gnoll, wearing some sort of metal, triangular, sharply angled helmet that is very clearly bearing down on it, bogging every movement into a slow, painful crawl as it drags its own enormous weight along. It is dragging what appears to be a gigantic butcher knife behind it. The weapon is at least 2 or 3 times the creature's size. This knife appears to be unbelievably heavy. The monstrous gnoll pauses every few weary steps to pull the weapon along, causing a harsh, metallic scrape that cuts through your ears like iron nails in the chalkboard of your soul. You check your track undead. The blip has a name. It appears to be called Pyramid Hager. Oh shit. Run back to save Harpy Babe shooting at everything you think might be moving. You can't run back to save the Harpy Babe shooting at everything you think might be moving right now. There is a Pyramid Hager blocking your path. Cast Hunter's Mark. Pop cooldowns. Send Scratch Fever to attack. Open fire. Feeling extremely brave, you throw your big red arrow into the monster's head and try to pop some of your cooldowns. Unfortunately, you already popped all of your cooldowns and blew most of your mana back at the Harpy's Roost. All you have left is Feign Death and Auto Shoot. This does not stop you from sending Scratch Fever in, as such things have never stopped you from sending Scratch Fever in. You count yourself extremely lucky to have found such a steadfast, loyal, and endlessly stupid, unwitting pasty. Scratch Fever closes the gap between himself and the great beast in seconds, arriving only shortly after the first of your devastating steady shots, which don't appear to be especially devastating when you're almost completely naked save your rings, loincloth, and rifle. Your shots do not appear to affect the monstrous gnoll, pinging harmlessly off the great red helmet. This does not stop Scratch Fever from giving it his all, as he has never stopped Scratch Fevering from giving it his all. He gets in 2 claws and a bite before the creature lifts its gigantic weapon into the air and brings it down like a guillotine. You don't care to watch what happens next. Scratch Fever has died. Scratch Fever's happiness is now 25%. Scratch Fever is now dangerously ravenous. You don't appear to have done any real damage to Pyramid Hager. He continues scraping his way towards you, a wall of doom slowly, inexorably, closing in on you. Wrap Scratch Fever in your remaining bandages as to resemble a mummy. This shouldn't be too much of a problem, and you will get around it as soon as you decide which half of your cat you'd like to bandage. Cast Intimidate on Pyramid Hager. Even if Scratch Fever were alive, you do not think you'd be capable of intimidating Pyramid Hager. At all, really. Cast Aspect of the Viper. Your mana reserves are getting dangerously low. It's time to recharge. Holographic Cobra is a go. /I Pyramid Hager. You give Pyramid Hager the eye. He doesn't seem especially moved, apart from his slow but steady forward movement towards you. Cast Freezing Arrow at Pyramid Hager. Freezing Arrow failed. Target is immune. Flee towards Razor Hill. This is a time for bravery, a time for heroes, a time to make your mother finally proud. Now is not that time. You revert back to Plan B, which really should have been awfully well and run, crying and flailing and screaming, "Oh God, not the face, not the face," as you turn hard track back towards Razor Hill. Panting for breath, your heart beating a ragged tempo in your ears, you arrive with the possibly imaginary safety of Razor Hill. As soon as you enter the town, 2 very interesting things happen. Firstly, the abyssal darkness opens up, permitting you to see everything within the town of Razor Hill clearly, but not much beyond, like a dome of impenetrable shadows covering the town. You can see the trail south towards a little troll village. What's it called? Semaphone? Sningurg? And west into the Red Rock Desert of Dirtar are both open, tunnels cut through the shroud. Secondly, that scraping noise ceases. You peer back up the trail northward, but can see nothing. Nothing at all. No blip, no motion, no noise, as though the monster was never real at all. It is completely silent in Razor Hill. Oh, it's like Silent Hill. I get it, because Pyramid Head. This is interesting.